Hello everyone, my name is Mark Edward Blanton with The Real South Africa.
And I am Dr. Latasha Blanton, also with The Real South Africa.
We have an amazing group trip that you will be interested in. It's with the African Diaspora News Channel, a great YouTube channel, gives you great information about what's going on in Africa. But we have a group trip featuring Phil Scott, the host.
And the trip is going to take place on March 16th through the 25th. It's going to go to Johannesburg and Cape Town, and It's in 2022. If you're interested in traveling, please send an email to info@therealsouthafrica.com.
And we'll see you here in sunny South Africa.
Salibonani unjani makadini. Hello everyone, welcome back to another broadcast of the African Diaspora News Channel with me, your host Maritawana aka DJ Wokohontas Sitole Imali, and of course I am speaking to you from the land of Zimbabwe here with this other name called House of Stones, and I'm here with the story of a group of people, small group of people who live in the northern parts of Zimbabwe. A region in the Kanyemba region around the basins of a tributary of the Zambezi River Valley. And these are called the Wadoma tribe. And they are also given another name called the ostrich people because they have two toes. And they speak the Dema language, which is a completely different language from Shona, Ndebele, the different dialects in the country. And they believe their ancestors emerged from a baobab tree and walked upright to hunt and gather fruits. And the secluded tribe is Zimbabwe's only non-agricultural society, although nowadays they've actually gone into farming, they've actually taken it seriously. The tribe is just mostly popular for having the rare genetic condition known as ectrodactyl or lobster claw syndrome. This is the absence of one or more fingers or toes at birth. Now, the inherited dominant genetic mutation affects only the feet of 1 in 4 children within the Wadoma population, and their middle 3 toes are absent and the 2 outer ones are turned in. Now, the condition resulted in the tribe being referred to as the two-toed or ostrich-footed tribe. It is against the tribal law for members to marry outside the group, and as a result, the two-toed condition does not spread to other tribes. However, few now actually have this condition, and it is said to be hereditary because marrying solely within their tribe has been minimized. Solely within their tribe, so they're now more than free to marry someone who is not from the Wadoma people. Those with the condition are not considered disabled in the community, and it is believed that their toes enable them to climb trees better, I suppose, to go and collect fruits. Now, the ectrodactyl is an autosomal dominant condition resulting from a single mutation on chromosome number 7. Those with the condition are not handicapped and are well integrated into the tribe. It was against this background that the Doma folks are two-toed that we set to learn about their lifestyles and how they cope with life only having 2 or 3 fingers or toes. Some literature has been falsely attributed this deformity to being an adaptation to tree climbing, which the authors claim is essential as the tribe derives its livelihood on hunting and gathering. So, having led a largely nomadic life in their supposedly a normal society, integration into society, the Noma people have actually slowly settled into a subsistence farming life through their farming methods, which are actually being considered as a little bit primitive and laborious. Prior to settling down, the larger proportion of the Noma people actually lived in the mountains that border the mighty Zambezi River, where they survived mainly on hunting and gathering. But because of the high temperatures in the Zambezi Basin, the Doma don't roof their house. They only thatch them when it actually starts raining, when it's the rainy season. However, when hunting changed meaning to poaching as central government sought to criminalize unauthorized killing of wild animals, the shifting legal terrain forced the Doma people to move from the mountains to settle in the surrounds of the Zambezi River, settling mainly in and around the basins of Mwazamtanda River, a tributary to the Zambezi. Now, this is between Zimbabwe and Zambia. Now, it has been a long process, but they were slowly understanding the implications of them continuing to hunt wild animals. And a chief of the area where the Doma people live stated that we always engage them from time to time to show them the good side of a settled life. And I think it is a situation we are winning. According to a tour guide named by the name of Charles Jabezi, who's also known as Soti in his community, is among the more enlightened of the Doma people. He actually has a family of 2 wives and 9 children, and the children are spaced by not more than a year. He states that they hold workshops from time to time with the Doma people, and the family, and from his part, he finds it hilarious that a lot of people have been asking him as to why quite a number of the Doma people actually have so many children. And he states that unfortunately with some of his children, he cannot afford school fees. And it is said that the Doma community members typically do not earn any income and cannot afford tuition fees. Occasionally, they will wake up at 2 p.m. and walk 14 kilometers, which is 8.7 miles, to cross the Zambian border to sell vegetables that they grow. And that is the nearest market. A member of the tribe says we literally just sit every day. We wake up, clean our living area, and sit. We have no food except for the occasional maize seed we receive as food aid, or we collect wild fruits called manganya from the forest and eat that. Another characteristic of the Doma people is that their shyness, they have this kind of shyness where they just don't look at you straight in the eye. So you can't recognize a Doma person. Like if they can't look at you in the eye, that's when you know that this is someone from the Doma tribe when they're talking to you. But if they're looking at you straight in the eye, that person is obviously not from the Doma tribe. It says that that is one way of telling whether someone is a Doma or not. They don't look at you in the eye. When you're talking to them, they stare at the ground. No one has been able to explain this type of behavior. But if the Doma people have any catching up to do, it is all to do with their methods of farming. With the river drying up at the end of the rainy season around May or June, which is when winter begins in the country, they start planting their maize in the riverbed. While the government, however, does not have a specific group that is claimed to be indigenous, arguing that all Zimbabweans are indigenous peoples, the Doma self-identify as indigenous people of Zimbabwe. Their tribe numbers are actually estimated as 1,500 according to the International Work Group for Indigenous Affairs, a non-governmental human rights organization. They said that the Seventh-day Adventist Church also helps these Doma people. They're active in the community by building a school in 2014, offering the Doma clothing and teaching them about the modern life. Annual permit fees of up to $800 stipulated by the Zimbabwe Parks and National Wildlife Authority in 2014 mean that the community can no longer fish. Annual permit fees, which amount up to $800 stipulated by the Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority in 2014, mean that the community can actually no longer fish or hunt in the area. Boundaries have also been demarcated only for those with permits. But the Doma people have been complaining because due to poverty, they've been complaining that that situation has now created a lot of poverty amongst them, a lot of hunger. And lack of education, as they say, has also led to ripple effects such as child marriage, with children wedding as young as 12 years old. Because there is no hospital in the area, women walk a great distance to cross a river that borders with their community, often giving birth along the way. Local wildlife has also compromised their safety and is another reason for their vulnerability. So there can be elephants, even lions, even cheetahs coming into the area where they actually live. And it is stated by a secretary of the Mariga area within the Doma region. He states that our people are being killed by the wildlife living amongst us, and we do not get assistance from authorities. Some are killed when they go and look for firewood, and the Parks Department says if it was a woman, they would help. But if it is a man, they just simply ignore. So these are people who are supposedly, as some say, are kind of, as a tribe, are neglected by the government, although the government has tried to kind of make them feel a part of, obviously part of the country, part of the groups of the different tribes in Zimbabwe. And it is also...
Colonization never ended in the white supremacist system. And as we see today, the colonization is in the mind. Now, those who have been enslaved and those who have been colonized, we're still dealing with the remnants of that through the colonization of the mind. Pick up my book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, and we will help deprogram you from the colonization that was put upon you by generations and generations of white supremacy. You can pick it up today on Amazon.com.